Hi. Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day. We made it halfway through the work week. Good morning. Welcome to Breakfast with Bridgett. Bridget's still on vacation. You know it's spring break. So you're stuck with me, Crystal Moyer. I hope you've been enjoying the show the past week. We have a lot to talk about today, including some winter weather coming back to greet us for spring. What is up with that? We're going to get with meteorologist Michelle Morgan to talk about that in just a moment. We're going to get to Steve with some traffic. And there's been some interesting stories going on, including an investigation into Orlando Commissioner Regina Hill. We're hearing that some investigators are looking into some money that she's accused of potentially taking from an elderly woman, thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars. So we're going to get to Eric Sandoval to talk a little bit about that investigation and what's going on with that. Also, a warning for spring breakers. We're talking about what some communities are trying to do to keep the calm. You know, a lot of people heading here to Florida to spend their spring break, and a celebration for Stetson, the Hatters, heading to the big dance. We're talking about March Madness. So they are the 16th seed. They're going to be heading to a very difficult game, but it's just exciting to see this team head to March Madness, to the big dance for the first time. So we're going to hit a little bit on that. Of course, we're going to go through some freebies that we have that we're giving away for our insiders, and we're hitting the road once again. So I'll tell you where we're headed next and how you can give us your 2 cents on what you want us to cover in that area. So let's get right to weather, because it is chill. If you haven't been outside, don't forget your jacket, because it is chilly. And that's why meteorologist Michelle Morgan is all in blue, because she is bringing the cold to us. Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, it's like winter's last call today.
What is going on?
Yeah, well, you know what? Usually the spring season is a transitional season.
Okay.
So you're going to have some cooler days, some warmer days before we get to the real heat during the summertime. So enjoy it now. I know it's a little bit too cool for some of us Floridians, but it feels really nice outside. It's refreshing. The humidity is nice and low, which I really do enjoy, because good hair day, right?
Hair. I'm with you.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and start you off with your current conditions. Look at this. Temperatures are chilly across the area. We're looking at 39 degrees in Wildwood, 49 in Leesburg, as well as Claremont, even Lakeland coming in at 48 degrees. So we're looking at some cold stuff, especially north of the I-4 corridor. As we head to our coastline, it's 53 in Cocoa Beach, 48 degrees in Melbourne, and we're looking at 43 degrees in New Smyrna Beach. So you get the picture. It is a cold start to our morning. Now, the same time yesterday, so in the past 24 hours, we were actually starting off much colder today than, again, the same time yesterday. And we're just beginning to feel that colder air filter in. We had a cold front move in the other day, so we're now beginning to see that cooler air move in. So grab that jacket as you're heading out. So I do want to show you the setup. I'm not tracking any rain. We have an area of high pressure over the Gulf of Mexico, kind of just hanging out there. That's going to continue to move eastward over the peninsula today. And what that means is that it's going to keep things rain-free today as well as tomorrow before our next weather system enters the area on Friday, ramping up those rain chances. Now, what you're looking at, this is the water vapor imagery showing the dry air and also the moisture. And usually with the moisture, you see a lot of green. We have none of that in the atmosphere. You see a little bit of orange, so that's that dry air trying to work itself in across our viewing area. So what that's going to do is keep our humidity nice and low. So it's going to be a really nice afternoon. Again, it's spring break. If you have any plans today, if you're heading out to the theme park, looking really good. So as you take a look at your hour by hour forecast, the sun is finally up, staying chilly through the morning. By lunch, we're in the upper 60s, and then eventually seeing a daytime high of 76 degrees. Now for today, we'll be a little bit below average. Normally around this time of the year, we're supposed to be in the upper 70s. So we'll be a few degrees shy of that this afternoon, but still going to be a really nice day. Your forecast highs across central Florida as we head to Brevard County. In Melbourne, seeing a daytime high of 73, Lake County, Leesburg at 74, 75 in Sanford, and then Daytona Beach seeing a daytime high of 70. Now, not really the best beach day because of the cooler weather, but there's also a high rip current risk in place along our Atlantic coastline there. So dangerous boating conditions as well as the swimming conditions, and also the water is really cool. So again, as I mentioned, not really the best day to go into the water. Maybe a walk on the beach would be fine. But I do want to talk about Friday. So no rain today, no rain tomorrow. But on Friday, during the early morning hours, we'll see a few isolated showers move in, plenty of clouds. But then as we head into your Friday afternoon, a little after 1, 2 o'clock, we'll begin to see scattered rain move in and some downpours are possible. A few isolated thunderstorms are also possible. Now, this particular model, you're looking at the GFS model, a little overdone, but it just gives you a good idea of what the timing looks like when that rain moves in. And then we're looking at scattered rain, heavy in a few locations, and of course in our low-lying areas, we could see some minor flooding. Now, that rain is expected to move out Friday night, leaving us with plenty of clouds. A few lingering showers are possible into Friday morning, but the weekend forecast looks pretty good, again, if you have anything planned. So I do want to talk about the pollen as well, because a lot of us have been sniffling and sneezing. So for today and tomorrow, the pollen is going to be high. With the rain, it's going to wash it down some. So we're looking at between that medium to high range, and that is going to last into our Saturday before that pollen increases on Sunday. So the pollen isn't going anywhere, unfortunately, but here's a look at your 7-day forecast. So 77 today, it's going to be a sun-filled day. It's going to be another chilly night. Not as cold as this morning, though. Looking at middle 50s in Orlando. And tomorrow we're in the lower 80s. An isolated shower or two, mainly confined along our coastal areas, possible. And 80% coverage on Friday, temperatures in the middle 70s. And then I placed a 40% coverage for showers. This is mainly Saturday morning. Saturday afternoon looking dry, highs in the lower 80s. It'll be windy and looking fantastic Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. So again, we have some rain to contend with on Friday, but the weekend forecast looking pretty good, Crystal.
So even though there's going to be some rain, Michelle, I'm just saying that pollen going down just a little bit, that means I can leave the house over the weekend. It's been bad.
It's been really bad. Every single morning I go outside and I get into my car. My car is just covered in that yellow green stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
it's too much. It's too much. So, and because we've been dealing with warmer weather, early than expected or earlier than expected, we're seeing those trees and those flowers beginning to bloom early. So
Everything's
that's why the
blooming.
pollen, yeah, that's why the pollen has just been so bad. So at least we'll get some relief as we head into our Friday and
Little bit.
Saturday. A little bit, but yeah, it has been really bad. I agree.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Michelle Morgan. And for Candace, of course, you can catch her forecast on clickorlando.com. If you've got the app, use the Pinpoint Weather app. That'll give you all the details you need to know right down to your specific area. So let's go ahead and head on to traffic with Trooper Steve joining us from Results One. He's got the vest on today. He's not playing around.
No jokes here. No. I don't wear this kind of swag often, and everyone knows that I'm not a fan of all this stuff, but I'm cold.
Well, it looks good on you. I
Look,
love it.
the truck says 49 degrees
Oh,
outside, and
mm-mm.
and I was telling Michelle earlier, I was like, man, you seen those memes that you could normally relate to, and it was the one that goes, look, it's hot outside, but I still have my heaters on because I'm in my upper 30s and I like it for my back. This morning, I just needed it because it was so cold coming out of
Yeah,
the
it is
house.
bad because I usually come out of my garage, so it's like warm, and then the minute I step into the parking lot getting into work, it's like I got to dash to the door.
Yeah. You're like, oh, this is what they were talking about.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about how traffic
Oh,
is out there right now. I mean, has it been bad, especially during spring break? What's going on?
this is what I like to say about traffic because when we do things, when I say things, traffic is very unpredictable. So, am I still here with you?
Yes,
I
you
look
are.
frozen.
You're jumping a little bit.
All right, but if you could still hear me, that's all that matters. You just need my voice. So right now, eastbound, we're watching this along I-4. It's been out there for about an hour. We got turned around the wrong way after a crash. Road ranger, tow truck, and the trooper are out there. No reason to be in that right lane like that car right there, like that car right there is doing. Slow down 12 miles an hour under the limit. That white SUV, too fast. Ooh, I'd even leave that crash and write that guy a ticket. A little further eastbound there, we do have a crash along Central Florida Parkway, headed towards the SeaWorld area at Westwood. Just be careful. You can see a little delay within that intersection this morning. That's probably the most mixed up residential and attraction area possible. OBT and Sand Lake, we just cleared that out. So our drive time's about average on a Wednesday. I keep thinking it's Tuesday, and it is not, thank goodness. 25-minute Greater Colonial, 19 coming in from Lake Mary. Earlier Silver Star crash, gone. Next crash, still hanging out. Robinson and Fern Creek. You have an OPD officer hanging out in that intersection, very small section. And this is what I was talking about, Crystal, when it comes to traffic being so temperamental. Normally, we have delays out here at this time. Already westbound I-4 in Seminole County at the 100, but clear. I'm not finding anything. I don't know where Seminole County residents are, but I'm not complaining. No major issues if you're headed westbound approaching 434. And then Umatilla, good morning to you. State Road 19 from Altoona down further south along 19, looking good. Leads in the villages, all checking out A-OK. Today, I'm headed to a part of town that I haven't been able to frequent before. And I know you're a county kid.
Yes, you're headed to the countdown town.
So I'm headed towards the village, the Cocoa Village. And a few viewers have already messaged me and saying that's just what we call fancy for downtown Cocoa. Is that true?
Yes, that would be Cocoa Village. So right when you come out of Cocoa, right before you hit that bridge to go over to Mirror Island, that's Cocoa Village. So you'll see like hotels there. They've got like a few bars there. It's their downtown area.
So this is how awesome our viewers are. I've already been received a message that someone's invited me to stop at their cafe over in the village, and it's called
Cocoa Village.
Yeah, whatever, Crystal, don't start. It's called Cafe de Havana. It's in Cocoa Village, and she says that they have the top 10 Cuban sandwich in the state of Florida.
Okay, I love Cuban sandwiches. I'm just going to put that out there, Steve. So when you come back, you know, bring your girl a sandwich. That's awesome.
I got you. But yeah, they said they opened up in October of 2022, and they're a 9 to 5 small business. So Mrs. Sophia messaged me, and I said, look, after my stream today, you may see me drive by, but I will stop by, get a little cafe con leche, maybe see what this place is like. And if I've got some time, I'll swing by back this way and maybe drop you off something. We'll see what happens.
Awesome.
So that's going to happen
at
10 a.m. today. So
10 o'clock. Trooper Steve on patrol. You can check it out, clickorlando.com, or if you have the New 6 Plus streaming app on your TV, definitely a great way to check out what he's doing as well. Thank you.
Oh, I froze. Bye.
Bye. That's one way to get him off of there. Freeze him. All right, so moving on to some serious news here because it has been the talker for the past few days, and we're talking about some bombshell allegations. Orlando Commissioner Regina Hill accused of cheating an elderly woman out of more than $100,000 and spending a lot of that on herself. It's prompted a state investigation, and our investigator, News 6's Eric Sandoval, got his hands on some of those investigative documents, and he's sharing what he's finding out about all of these allegations.
We found out the Florida Department of Law Enforcement was actually tipped off about this last year by a former aide of Regina Hill's who was fired from her job. They've spent the last year looking into this, and they tell us their investigation isn't over yet. News 6 got a hold of these investigative documents that claim, among other things, Orlando City Commissioner Regina Hill fraudulently established power of attorney over a 96-year-old woman. Investigators say that power of attorney allowed her to secure a mortgage in the woman's name and co-purchase this home in the Lake Man Estates area of Orlando without the woman even knowing about it. They say Hill then allowed her son and his girlfriend to live in it. They also claim Hill moved into this house about a mile away in the Washington Shores neighborhood that was once owned by the elderly woman's parents. They claim Hill used the woman's money to renovate the inside and didn't pay rent. FDLE investigators also claim that Hill used more than $100,000 of the woman's cash and credit cards to purchase things for herself, like expensive perfume, clothing, IV vitamins, a facelift, a New Year's Eve trip to Miami, car insurance, and dental surgery. Now, the woman is fighting back. Her attorneys filed court papers seeking to keep Hill away from the woman's finances and her property. And an Orange County judge approved a temporary injunction last week. We called Commissioner Hill, and she picked up. I'm calling to see if you want to talk to us or do an interview with us today about the allegations against you. She didn't want to comment and referred us to her attorney. We asked the city of Orlando and the mayor's office for a comment. Spokeswoman Ashley Papagni said the city has been made aware of the injunction involving Hill. They are not part of that injunction, and they don't have any details on the allegations related to it. Now, very important, Regina Hill has not been arrested or charged with anything yet. And again, FDLE says that they are still investigating this. Of course, we're going to be watching to see what happens here. Outside FDLE headquarters in downtown Orlando, I'm Eric Sandoval, getting results, News 6.
We have a great team of investigators here at WKMG who will continue to follow this story, get those documents related to the investigation. Of course, we will let you know as soon as we find out any more information. Again, Regina Hill has not officially been charged with anything, but it'll be interesting to see where this goes and, how all of this wraps up. All right, moving on to spring break. A lot of you may have the week off. Your kids may be off of school this week for spring break, but state leaders are partnering with the state attorney general and local law enforcement for a big issue and a big warning for visitors who are coming to Florida. News 6's Molly Reed speaks with some of those investigators and says they are seeing a spike in drugs laced with fentanyl. Very dangerous out there, and she has a story for us.
The Volusia County Sheriff tells me that they've already had dozens of drug-related arrests here this spring break so far, and that's why the Attorney General stopped by Volusia Beach Safety Headquarters here today to put out the warning, especially to teenagers, about what they might actually be ingesting and make sure law enforcement has plenty of these Narcan kits.
In the second quarter of every year, we do see a spike in overdose rates. That's probably not a coincidence that it is also the spring break time.
With the crowds comes the people taking advantage of young teens.
How to educate your children. They think they're buying this stuff off the street or they're buying it from a classmate, therefore it's good stuff. In reality, it's laced with fentanyl.
Attorney General Ashley Moody and Sheriff Mike Chitt would say this is partly why there has been a bigger crackdown this year on spring break too. The state sending dozens of troopers to hotspots this year like Daytona and New Smyrna Beach.
What we find is these kids are buying THC vapes on the black market. That's not bad enough. But their urine tests are coming back with fentanyl, meth, PCP, and heroin in it.
Already, the sheriff's office and local police say there have also been 3 guns confiscated from people on the beach or heading to it, all tied to drug dealers.
Now 7 out of 10 pills seized. These fake pills have an illicit or a lethal dose of fentanyl.
Of course, they never hope to use them, but I'm told all of the deputies who do work the beach here in Volusia County have these Narcan kits ready to go in case they ever have to try and reverse an overdose. In Daytona Beach, Volusia County, I'm Molly Reed, getting results, News 6.
I'm glad they're making those Narcan kits available, but can you just imagine having to actually use it? Definitely when you're out there and people are buying drugs and pills, you never know what's in it. And that's what law enforcement has always been preaching to everyone, to just be careful when you're out there. You shouldn't be doing drugs anyway, but you just never know what's in it, and it could be dangerous and deadly. So we'll stay updated on that story with News 6's Molly Reed. And this one is a bit of a mystery. Think about this for a second. Imagine you are trying to make ends meet, out of a job, you file for unemployment, and this was during COVID, and the money just goes missing. They claim they sent it to you. You don't get it. Well, that's what happened to one woman, and she reached out to our investigator, News 6's Mike Hofeld, to help her, and he's trying to figure out what he can do to help her receive thousands of dollars in unemployment benefits that just went missing.
How long have you been enduring this?
March 1st, 2021.
You've been waiting that long for this money?
That's the day we got laid off.
3 years later, Lolita Miranda Isaac is still chasing missing unemployment benefits, sent October 22nd and 26, 2021.
Everybody else got their money, and Lolita did it.
State records show the unemployment deposits, totaling just over $3,700, were wired to her ViStar bank account. But look, her ViStar credit union records show the funds never showed up. A complete disconnect.
Okay, and the $1 million question, or in this case, almost $4,000, where's the money?
I don't know.
She says the state's economic department, formerly the DEO, indicated there was another account, adding to the mystery and obvious confusion.
It is so frustrating.
Oh, I can't even imagine. Okay, so this mystery account, with what bank?
I don't know. They won't tell me.
All right, but it has your name or your husband's name on it?
She won't even say that.
Investigators with the state are reviewing the case, but at this point the money is still unaccounted for. So our investigation is just beginning. Mike Holfeld getting results, News 6.
And I know Mike, he is working hard to make sure he figures this all out to help out this woman, get the money she needs to help her out. And of course, we will keep following this story and let you know what happens. It's a big issue there. Just where did it go? It says on the statements that the money's been sent, but didn't end up in her account. So I wonder what happened there. All right, on to some good news. If you are a big basketball fan or just like college basketball in general, the Stetson Hatters heading to the big dance for the first time ever. It's just incredible. The city of DeLand is hosting this big celebration today around noon is when they're supposed to be heading to the big NCAA tournament because they will be taking on the number 1 seed UConn in Brooklyn on Friday. So this is going to be crazy. March Madness, you never know what can happen. I know what you're thinking. They're going to be playing against the number 1 team. Good luck. But you never know. You know, that's why we have the big bracket challenge because that's why it's called March Madness. You never know what happens. So we're super excited that the Hatters will be heading to the big dance and their game will be on Friday. And the good thing about that is they're local and you could see it right here on WKMG. So set your clocks. If you want to check it out, cheer them on from wherever you are. We're excited to see a Central Florida team heading to the big dance, and we're excited to see what happens here at the NCAA tournament. All right, so this one's a pretty fun story. So imagine heading out, driving around, and you see a sheriff's cruiser with a for sale sign. Real? Not real? Nah, it's fake, right? So a jokester in Southwest Florida actually put the sign on a sheriff's cruiser that was parked there in the median along the road. So Charlotte County Sheriff's Office, they actually posted this photo on social media, kind of poking fun at it with the for sale sign. They say they don't know who put it there or when, but, they're going to have some fun with it. They captioned the post in part, kind of disappointed in the minimal interest in this beautiful vehicle. Obviously no interest in buying that sheriff's vehicle because it's not actually for sale. So while they did get a kick out of the sign, they do want to tell people and warn them, leave their cruisers alone. Don't put anything on it. Don't put a for sale sign on it, even if you think it's a funny joke. Not a good idea. That could have ended up badly for the one involved and responsible for that. Glad they could poke fun at that though. So let's get to some freebies. We know you all love it. If you're a News 6 Insider, you already know about this. We're talking about free tickets to the Central Florida Zoo and Botanical Gardens Hippity Hop Adventure. They're having a fun event on March 30th, the day for Easter to celebrate, spring. So they're going to have the Easter Bunny out there. You can take pictures. They have a DJ. They have bouncy houses and treat stations. I'm really excited about that. So if you would like to enter, today is the last day. All you have to do is head to clickorlando.com/insider. You're going to fill out this form right here. And if you're not already a News 6 Insider, what are you waiting for? It is free to sign up and you will be the first to know about these giveaways and freebies. We just gave away some News 6 swag. So if you're one of the winners, congratulations. Some of that stuff I don't even have. So really cool there. And the zoo also has some new baby animals born recently and just introduced to their new habitat. So if you haven't been there lately, you're going to see some new faces. And I have that story on clickorlando.com/insider where you get to see a baby blue duiker. I know, it's like a little baby antelope. So that was really exciting to shoot. And also it's fun to see little babies born at the zoo. All right. we're hitting the road. You've known about this. We've been going around Central Florida talking about different areas, wanting to cover the stories that you want to see. And this time we are headed to Sanford, specifically the 32771 zip code. If you live there, we want to know all about your community. You know, there's only so many of us. So tell us what you want us to cover. What makes your community so special? What are the challenges? How can we help you get results? All you have to do is head to clickorlando.com/hitstheroad. Let us know what you want to see, and we'll see what we can do. You know, we've been learning a lot about the different areas in our community through this Hits the Road program, and we are doing this for you, our viewers. So make sure you all participate and get involved, and we will be doing a live newscast from Sanford, just like what we did over in East Orange County. So that's always a good time to get out and meet a lot of you. Well, thank you for joining us. That's all we have today for Breakfast with Bridgett. I'm Crystal Moyer, filling in this week while she is on vacation. We have Weather-Wise with Jonathan Kagas coming up at 8 o'clock and 8:30. You know it, Trooper Steve will be on patrol. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you at News 6 at noon.